Here are a number of valuable Jefferson Nickel varieties recently sold at auction. The Jefferson Nickel series has somewhat of a reputation for spectacular mint-mark varieties, and few coins live up to that reputation better than this 1954 S over D coin, although there are a few others that do also give it a good run for its money. As usual, the mint mark is located towards the right of the Monticello building on the reverse. The prominent S seems squared off towards the bottom left. This is what remains of the initial D mint mark that was first punched in, along with a section connecting the lower serif of the S to its upper curve. With a grade of MS66 from PCGS, this coin had little trouble securing $720 at auction. An extremely difficult variety to come across is on display now. This coin is the 1953 D over D repunched mint mark. But, and this is the key thing, the D was struck in an inverted orientation. In other words, upside down or back to front, whichever you prefer. You can see here that the rounding of the initial D is peeking out from behind the upright bar of the primary D mint mark towards the left, in the wrong direction. So it's fairly obvious why the D had to be punched in a second time. This coin has a grade of MS66 from PCGS, and at auction it saw a final price of $720. The Jefferson Nickel was introduced in 1938, replacing the long-serving Buffalo Nickel, and by 1939 you could already have assembled a small collection of variety coins, likely due to the sheer scale of the minting and the large number of coins created within these first few years. The doubled Monticello Nickel, as it is known, is probably one of the most prominent. As the name indicates, the letters of Monticello are boldly doubled towards the east, although the letters of 5 cents and other design elements are also affected by this effect. Graded by PCGS as MS64, this popular variety was sold at auction for $720. One of the best-known varieties for the Jefferson Nickel series, especially when it comes to mint mark varieties, is the 1949 D over S over mint mark coin. It is one of the few red book listed varieties for the series too, making it extremely sought after by a wide array of collectors. The initial S mint mark can still be seen, or at least what is left of it, towards the top left hand side of the primary D mint mark that was punched in over top, with faint remnants of the S also then seen towards the top and inside the cavity of the D mint mark. Graded by PCGS as MS66+, this coin fell under the auctioneer's gavel for $840. Thanks to the US Mint altering the composition of the Jefferson Nickel to a silver alloy between the years of 1942 and 1945, due to nickel being a critical resource needed for the war effort, so they had to get it wherever they could. This is the same reason why the penny was struck from steel in 1943 instead of its usual copper. To indicate the change, they placed the mint mark prominently on the reverse, just above the Monticello building. This 1942 P coin has a fairly obvious repunched mint mark, best seen towards the lower half of the coin. Graded by PCGS as MS66, this coin sold at auction for $990. Then we have a doubled reverse variety from 1939. In actuality, it is a quadrupled die reverse variety, where no fewer than 4 squeezings of the hub were executed in order to produce this particular reverse die. It is difficult to see all 4 impressions on this coin, but the serifs of the letters of States is a good place to see the multiple impressions more clearly, as well as the letters of 5. In addition to this, the O, or rather the last O of Monticello, is also misshapen as a result, more resembling an egg, I suppose, than a nice round O. Graded as MS66 by PCGS, this coin was offered at auction and sold as such for $1,020. Even though there are a handful of doubled reverse variety coins for the 1945 P mint-marked nickel, at least 3 of which are fairly prominent, this example manages to stand out from the crowd all the same. It can be easily distinguished by the wide spread that can be seen on the doubling on the latter half of Monticello, especially the O of that word, with the S of cents just below it as well. Graded as MS67 by PCGS, this coin managed to raise $1,440 by auction's final call. In 1938, there were several cases known where the reverse die of the nickel was re-engraved by hand in order to strengthen certain parts of the design that likely got damaged or worn out through regular use. This is an example of the FS403 type that is characterized by a strengthening of the ribbon on the back of his neck, and some of the other minor elements like the letters of liberty, especially the LIB section, also being recut by hand, at least in part. This coin was authenticated and graded by PCGS as Proof 67+, and at auction it sold for $1,440. Today, collecting US coins according to mint mark is fairly standard practice for most collectors, but this wasn't always the case. In fact, until Augustus Heaton published his treatise on coinage of the United States branch mints in 1893, most people didn't pay much any attention to it at all, which is why a coin like this is special. It is characterized by the fact that it is in fact missing a mint mark, as all proof coins were minted in San Francisco in 1971. This proof nickel should have an S mint mark, but it doesn't, which makes it a rare variety coin. Graded by PCGS as Proof 69 Cameo, it was sold at auction for the final price of $1,860. From all the numerous variety coins that can be looked for from the 1943 Jefferson Nickel, the 1943 over 2 P mint-marked overdate coin has to be one of the most exciting to find. This coin was created when the initial hubbing took place with a 1942 hub and then was overstruck, or, well, squeezed as the case may be, with a 1943 hub. The remnants of the initial 2 of that date can still be seen diagonally inside the lower opening of the 3 of 1943. This example was graded by PCGS as a stellar MS66 with full steps, and by auction's close, it had sold for $1,920. In 1939, the decision was taken to sharpen the reverse design of the coin. In fact, a new reverse hub was actually prepared, as the design introduced just a year prior featured weakly defined and wavy steps. The new reverse, which is now known as the reverse of 1940, has a thicker porch and more clearly defined steps. In the comparison here, you can see the reverse of 39 on the left and the reverse of 40 on your right. This coin, graded as MS67 with full steps, is one of the finest known for the type, with only a single example known as MS68 at NGC. This coin was sold at auction for $4,800. You know a coin is something special when it manages to garner a popular nickname for itself, as is the case with this 1943 Philadelphia Mint Jefferson Nickel doubled obverse variety coin. And while there is impressive doubling on all of the obverse lettering, including the letters of liberty and in God we trust, as well as the date itself, this coin is best known for the wide doubling of Jefferson's eye. Not merely the eyelid, as you might see on other coins, but the entire eye, hence its popular sobriquet of the doubled eye nickel. This example was graded by PCGS as MS67 with full steps, and at auction it was sold for the sum of $6,630. Subscribe to WNN and feel free to check out another video about Jefferson Nickels right here. For the World Numismatic News, I am Numisman saying thank you for watching. Keep collecting and have a fantastic day.